This trip is planned for 18 people and will last 19 days and 18 nights. We will have a day of travel followed by 17 days of rafting with one more day of travel at the end.
The first day of the trip will be focused on getting to the Grand Canyon. It is about a 6 hour drive from Albuquerque to Flagstaff, and from there we will check into a hotel for the night and wait till the morning to start our journey. On the second day, we will get up and take a shuttle from our hotel in Flagstaff to Lee's Creek in the Grand Canyon, where we will be able to pack our rafts and get ready for the adventure. To pack the rafts, we will need both large and small waterproof bags in order to store our things to make sure they don't get damaged on the trip. The large bags will be stored at the bottom of the raft and contain things that will be used only around the camps during the nighttime and not during the day, such as clothing and cooking supplies. The smaller containers will be used for things like snacks and extra layers and stuff you might need throughout the day as we are rafting. It is important that we will be separating things that are necessary, like food and toilet paper, among the rafts in order that if we lose any, we don't lose the entire store. The planned path will take us from Lee's Ferry, where we are dropped off, all the way to Diamond Creek, where we'll be picked up and taken back to Flagstaff. There will be many stops along the trip in order to hike and sightsee around the beautiful canyon.
The temperature at the Grand Canyon can get as low as 50 degrees Fahrenheit. The rafters will need to bring sleeping bags, clothing, and equipment for that temperature. We will use 3 person-sized tents to have more room in tents or reduce the amount of equipment taken. Sleeping bags will be taken rather than air mattresses, as air mattresses can be quite bulky. Rescue and first aid kits are required when rafting. Looking at the river trip regulations, we see that a major first aid kit is required. Smaller first aid kits are required for each raft. A list of recommended medical supplies can be found in the regulations and in our equipment list. Rescue kits help to get an individual or raft out of the water. Pulleys help rafters recover rafts and equipment. A cataract is a raft that has 2 tubes and are attached together by a frame. An R-raft is a more traditional looking raft. A frame is still required since it allows for steering and a place to tie down equipment. The straps will be 1.5 inches to hold at most 2,000 pounds. For personal items, please bring sunscreen, hats, and long sleeves to protect you from the sun. Try to get clothing that dries quickly. Athletic clothing is an option, swimsuits or swimming trunks are another option. Medication is another thing to keep in mind. The trip will be 18 days long. Personal items cannot pollute the river and must be necessary. A checklist will be provided to guide you.
The trip is broken up into 2 different types of days, Type A days and Type B days. There will also include travel days. The first day of travel, we will pack up our cars and head to Gallup for our first stop for gas. After that, we will have lunch in Holbrook and then continue our way to Flagstaff, where we will stop for the night. Type A days will consist of waking up, making breakfast, and then continuing on our rafting. We will then stop for lunch, and when we stop for lunch, that will end the rafting for the day. We will set up camp and go on a hike. After our hike, there will be some free time, and then dinner will be ready at 6 p.m. After that, there's more free time until 9:30 when it's lights out. The difference between Type A days and Type B days is when we stop for lunch, afterwards we will continue on rafting until we reach our destination, and from there we will stop for the day, set up camp, and begin making dinner. Again, there will be free time after dinner and lights out at 9:30.